Good morning, Wildly Better Tribe. I want to talk to you about zones of zero today. Zones of zero, what's that? Well, one of the things I've realized is I have begun studying elite performers and taking a look at real output. How do we create maximal output? How could I 2x or 3x my results? One of the things I've learned as I've read lots and lots on this topic now is that until you can create a bubble that is free of distraction, there is no way you will ever double, triple, quadruple your results. And it is because we live in an era of addiction to distraction. We watch stupid videos on YouTube of people filming their kittens and cats that jump around and do crazy stuff. We get caught up in all sorts of time-wasting bayous, Facebook's, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube videos. We get caught up in what we find out is hours later, those things have eaten into our time. But here's the problem. It's not only that they waste our time, but they often have derailed us from the original thing that we were going after working on. So we start in to do some research or do some writing or do some work, and what ends up happening is we're down the lane somewhere, addicted to the next click on the web page, and pretty soon, an hour and a half later, we've got to get back on task, or even 20 minutes later, we've got to get back on task. But here's the thing, the research indicates that the attention residual loss, that is, my attention has now been distracted, and there's a residual loss that as I come back to the task I originally started out on, it takes me minutes to get re-engaged. So if I spend the next hour trying to get something done and 3 or 4 times I get distracted, I actually only got 3 or 4 minutes of work actually done, the research says. Whereas if I had been living in an addiction-free, distraction-free zone, I could have 2x or 3x my results. So one of the things about these zones of zero, that's my term, is I have learned over the last year or two that I create zones of zero. Every once in a while throughout the day, I'll just say the next 60 to 90 minutes are focus time. And what we've learned is 60 to 90 minutes is that optimal zone. All right, it's the optimal time. Most of us cannot go all out, all in for 3 hours. Very hard to do, very hard. But the research says we can do 60 minutes to 90 minutes, then we need to take a 10 or 15 minute down break. Now here's what the research also says, gang, and this is what's fascinating, that in the average 8 to 9 hour day, the average person is really only doing about an hour of productive work a day. That means in an average work week, the average person is doing about 5, 6, 7, a good 8 hours of work a week. That is unbelievable. That means that if you were to create 2 zones of zero a day, 60 to 90 minutes, twice a day, you would be doubling or tripling the output of the average worker and probably your average week as well. So I want to really encourage you. I mean, there's applications you can get that only let you focus on what you're working on in your computer at the time, but you can create your own zone of zero. Turn off your cell phone, not on vibrate, turn off all your notifications, close your email program, and say, I am going to read for 60 minutes, uninterrupted, focused with a laser. I am going to work on this writing project. I am going to respond to all my email in this zone and nothing else, right? It's focus. Focus, laser focus. I'm going to give you a link to 2 books in the notes below. The End of Absence, fantastic book. The Shallows, another fantastic book, talking about what's happening in our culture when we are so addicted to distraction that it is actually rewiring our brain. And it's making it harder and harder and harder for us, and certainly for the next generation who's grown up with an iPad in their face their whole lives from the womb. It's actually training our brains not to think for long, hard periods of time down a specific lane. And that is going to have enormous implications long term. So I want to encourage you to think about creating some zones of zero. What would it be like for you to 2x or 3x your results? Practice it, see what you think. I'm going to put one other book in the link below by Cal Newport called Deep Work. It's really kind of the definitive piece on creating zones like this, and you will be shocked at how your life changes. People say, how do you get so much done? How do you read so much? Create zones of zero. You can 2x, 3x, 4x your time output by focusing. I hope this helps the Wildly Better protocol that will really help move the needle for you.